Good morning, students. So, it's been 3 days that I have taken the last class, and in that class, I have covered the ANT, which I said you that's a build tool basically, which is being used for Wipro. And similar to ANT, we also have Maven and Gradle, other build tools, which are meant for automating the process of the execution environment for deploying. And I said in the next session, we are going to cover this HTML. So today we will begin with HTML, and if possible, I would like to put full stop to this HTML because it's very simplest thing to learn. You can just try reading this material and exploring all the example tags given in this documents. So here you can see introduction to HTML and its elements, layout tags and semantic tags, tables, forms and frames, style and div tags, introduction to HTML5. So if you open each and every document under this, you can see examples along with the output screenshots, and you can just try and also experience how it will be visually visible. All that you can just check it. Very quick intro to this HTML, and then I'll be running few example and then showing you how it will be visually looking like. So first of all, why are we studying this HTML, or why are we learning this HTML? And first of all, before getting the context set, I hope all of you are familiar with the abbreviation of HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And why do we require this HTML? So we require HTML for web development purpose. We are using HTML basically for web development purpose. I mean for creating web pages. And not only creating web pages, our motive is to create web pages that will be served to the entire world. So our motive is to develop web pages that will be served to the entire world. For that we are using this HTML. And you can use Visual Studio, which will be the best tool for creating this web applications. But right now, since it's only part of your training module, I haven't installed any tool for this. I'm directly going to use my notepad, where I'll type the HTML code and I'll just save it with the .html extension, and which automatically you can see the file being shown you with the browser that you have set it as default in your local machine, and then you can just open it and see. But recommending, if you are going for further web development applications, then you can just install Visual Studio. That's the best tool for industry practice also. And even you can just go for some vaporizer extension. You can just add it to your browser in order to know what are the technologies that are used for any website. Like I'll just show you very quickly here. I have already Suppose if you just go to this particular site, and here this is one of the website, and if you just click on this particular extensions, so whatever the extensions that you have installed or added to your browser, all extensions you can see it over there. And here you can see metal is the extension which I have installed, because at the time of final assessment even you required to install that. Don't worry, right now they will provide you the link for installing that. And now if I just click on this particular vaporizer extension, there you can see what are the technologies that are used for making this particular website. So like this you can just use this vaporizer extension in order to know any particular websites development used technologies. Like here you can see the web server used for this website is Apache, and the JavaScript libraries they have used is the jQuery and fancy box, and jQuery version also you can see over there. And the widgets they have used is the flex slider, and the font scripts they have used are the Google Font API and Font Awesome. It might be their own thing. And the UI framework they have applied is the Bootstrap, something like this. You can just use this vaporizer extension in order to know any particular websites technologies they have used in order to develop that particular website. So it's one of the mostly used extension by many of the people that work in this particular web development field. And the tool best used, as I mentioned, it's Visual Studio. Very quickly we will just get to this introduction, and then I'll directly start creating a HTML file through which we will understand it. So this is what the web architecture. So this was the point I was mentioning. So here you can see the web page, and which is being served to multiple people across the globe. And this is what I was mentioning. Your motive is to create web pages that will be served to the entire world. And these are the definitions which you can just go through and understand. So basically a website will be homogeneous collection of web pages, because you can understand basically by homogeneous collection means related to that particular business. That's what you can just understand. And these are the client side programming technologies that will be used. And I hope you can understand by the terms front end and back end. So front end are those which will be visible to the outside world, whereas the back end, it's the business logic and the processing code that you will be using in order to serve your front end. And basically for front end we will be using this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, VB script, Ajax, which will be our very last topic of this Wipro training module, jQuery. These are all the front end technologies that you will be using in order to show to the outside world. Whereas for the back end technologies, basically we will be using PHP, Node.js. Like these technologies we will be using in order to implement our business logic and the processing code that we will be using for serving the front end. So these are the uses of the client side programming in order to create interactive web pages, work as an interface between user interface and server, interact with the local storage, and in order to retrieve data from the server. And this all you can just understand. This abbreviation we already know this. And these are the key features of HTML in order to publish the documents with all headings, text, tables, lists, images, etc. And also provide links via hypertext links, so that with a single click you can just directly navigate to that particular and similarly design forms in order to conduct remote services like that, and include some files, audio or video, all that things also you will be doing that. So you can just go through this. Most of the tags that are used in coding the HTML documents are easily passed by any kind of browsers, and the blink tag does not show any effect in the MSIE. MSIE is nothing but Microsoft Internet Explorer. That's what MSIE stands for. And HTML, it's a markup tag. Anyway, this is how you will be using the HTML tags. Within the angular brackets, you are going to enclose the tags, and these are the types of tags: layout tags, application tags, semantic tags, logical tags. So these are the different types of tags that will be used. And semantic tags are basically meant for defining the particular document, whatever the page you are going to develop. In order to define that, we will be using the semantic tags. So on a whole, you can just tell that you are going to provide the complete information with regard to the web page that's being developed. That's what the semantic tag is meant for. Similarly, layout tag, as the name itself makes you understand how you are going to place the components within the web page. That's what the layout tag is all about. So in order to place the components within the page, that's the web page. So I think it will be boring for you if I keep reading this particular document. Since it's a self-read material, you can just go through all these particular files and just see different examples, and also try all the examples given in that particular documents. Let me directly open the notepad and start creating a simple HTML file. And the very first thing what we will be doing is the, even though it's optional, but always a good program that you are going to write, it should be readable and it should follow the standard procedures. So this is how you will be doing. So within the angular brackets, I am writing the doc type tag, and this doc type tag indicates what particular type of document this particular file contains. And I'm saying the doc type is HTML, and then you are going to include the parent tag for all the HTML tags, which is nothing but the HTML, and try to use indentation. And I think I need not tell, but still it's my responsibility to say. So HTML is a case insensitive language. HTML is case insensitive language, so you can use either capitals or small letters. It doesn't bother. But just remember that most of the tags must and should have the opening and closing tags. But there are certain tags that do not have any close tag. Most of the tags will be having both open tag and close tag. So here, this is the opening tag of HTML and this is the closing tag of HTML. So the closing tags start with forward slash. That's the only difference. So for opening tag, you won't have any forward slash at the begin, whereas for the closing tag, you will be having the forward slash at the begin. And as I was telling, most of the tags will be having this opening tag and closing tag, but there are few tags that do not have any close tag, and we tell them as the self closing tag. We just call them as the self closing tag. And here doc type, what you can see, this is the tag which do not have any close tag. Similar to this, you also have meta tag. Anyway, let's not get into details. So that's what you just remember. HTML is the parent of all the other tags, and doc type and meta are the tags which do not have any close tag. And within this HTML tag, we are going to write other information, and I'm using the head tag here. And if you use IDE, automatically when you give this particular enter, automatically indentation comes with 4 spaces, and this head tag will be containing all the metadata information. Basically, head tag we use it for providing all the metadata information like title of the web page, what is the meta information, like including the style and the script tag. Suppose you are using JavaScript for your web page for performing some validations for the information that user is providing, then you can even use a script equal to, and then you can specify what type of script that's being used. Like if you are using JavaScript, you can mention that the JavaScript is being used for this particular web page in order to perform some validation of the input being provided by the user. And similarly, if you are using any style, we will see that in a short time. So if you are using any style, you can even specify that so and so style is being applied for this web page. All that information you are going to provide within the head tag. So you can just use the head tag for providing the metadata information. As I was saying, so you can provide the style. You can either write the style information there itself, or you can even provide the style information with some CSS file information being provided here. And even you can specify the title, so that the web page, whatever you are going to give, for that what should be the title, like that you will be using. And whatever the title you are going to use, this particular title you can see it in the browser as well. In the browser's toolbar, you can just see this particular title. And similarly, if you are publishing this particular website, and whatever the title of your web page is there, that will be the title used in the search engine. I mean, in the Google search bar, whatever the thing they are going to type, and if that is the title of your web page, then automatically it will be listed in the first. It will be listed in the first, something like that. So title plays a very key role. So that's the reason we will not be leaving any web page without any title. That's the reason when you are creating any website, you will be giving some title for each and every web page. You know that that particular web page is meant for some login, it's meant for some registration, it's meant for some other adding cart information, some or the other. You know that for what purpose you are creating that web page. So accordingly, you are going to give the title to that particular web page. But even if you don't give, it's still fine. But in real time, you cannot have any web page being created without title. Just remember that point. So head, and then in this, let's add a title. And title, I'm just giving my first HTML, just something, and then close it. And then let me just close my head also. Right now I'm not going to add any CSS. Let's discuss CSS in further class. And next you are going to have this body tag. So within the body tag, as the name itself makes you understand, you can just write all the information that you wanted to place within the body tag. It can be the regular text, or it can be some tables, or you can add some images, something like that. Whatever the information you want to place inside the web page, all that information you are going to put under body. You are going to put under body. So anything that you're going to write in this body, it will appear in the web page. Anything you are writing within the title, it appears only in the browser toolbar. So that's what the point you can just remember. Now in this I can just write some text. This is my first HTML document, something like this. Okay, let's just close this, and you can see the closing tag should contain this forward slash. It's a very first one. Later on we shall add a few more things to this particular file and examine how things will work. So, and just to do remember, when you are working with notepad, always you must change the type to all files. Let me create a new folder, and I'm just naming it as HTML, and give the file name. So I'm just giving my file name as first, and give the extension as .html. And as I was saying, compulsory when you are using notepad, make sure that you give the, you change the type to all files. If you just give the extension as .html, and if you don't change this type to all files, again you may not be able to execute it in the browser. So just save it. So let me open E drive, and in this HTML, so there you can see, now you can see, since I have saved it with the .html, you can see, rather than showing it as a notepad file, you can see how it is being shown. It is shown as Chrome icon. That means since I have saved it with .html, it is saying it can be opened in the browser. And then you can just go with open with, and then click on Chrome, and now you can see, I hope it's visible. So here you can see, this is my first HTML document. This is my first HTML document, and this is how you will be able to see it. And now and here this is what I was mentioning. Here you can see the title as my first HTML. Similarly for our PBL things also, you can see how the title was mentioned. That's the reason you are able to see like that, PBL lab forward slash single course, like that. So even for this page I have given my first HTML. That's what you can see in the browser's toolbar. And this is what I was mentioning, whatever the title you give, you will be getting it in the browser's toolbar page. And whatever the content you are going to mention in the body, that you can see it visualized here, something like this. And similarly you can go for further additions to this code, like what shall we add? Okay, let us add some style to this body. So I'm just adding some basic style. So body style equal to, you can just change the background color. Right now the default background is white, and the font color is black. So let us just try to change it. So this is how you will be giving. So background color colon, and then you can specify the color you wanted. So I'm just giving blue. You can just try with other colors as well. So let's see how the background changes. So just save it and then get back to the browser and do right click and click on reload. Yeah, now you can see the color is changed to blue. So the background color is changed to blue. So this is how you can even apply the colors. And similarly, you can even rather than saying it for, and you can even try with headings, like you have H1 to H6 headings. You can try with heading tags also. There are six type of heading styles, H1 to H6. You can use any of the heading style and you can see how each heading is being shown to you. Accordingly, you can apply, and every changes you make, just save it and then reload the document. Automatically, you will be seeing the changes being reflected. So now you can see with the H1 how much size that particular font has become. Similarly, if I just give H2, you can see a difference. Save it, come back. So now you can see the size being reduced. So you can understand from H1 to H6 the size gets reduced, and even you can just apply this particular style even for the heading as well. Rather than only for the body, you can also apply style for heading as well. So for that you can just use like this. Let me just copy this, and here instead of giving blue, let us change it to some red and see how it works. Let's see. You can just refresh this. So here you can see now the heading background have changed to red color. I haven't applied for the font style, so I have just applied for the background color. Suppose if I want for the font itself, instead of using this background, you can just remove this background and save it. Get back to your browser and then click on reload. Now you can see font color is turning out to be red. So this is the difference. If you use background color as your style, that applies to the tag for which you are using it. Like if I am using the background style for body tag, then it applies for the entire body. If you are applying this particular style background color for the heading tag or the paragraph tag, then it applies to that particular paragraph or the heading. If you are just using color, it applies for the font or heading or paragraph for whichever tag you are using this. That's the basic point you just need to remember. So this is how you will be using the background color and color tags, and even you can even set your own font style also. That is also possible. So color equal to red, something like this you have set now. Similarly, you can also give font something like this font family, and you can specify the style, something like Vardhana I'm giving. It's one of the font style. I think most of you know that. and then end it with a semicolon, and then you can specify the size also. Font size also I can specify how much times bigger. I'm just giving some 300%, and then even I can specify the alignment. Let's see how it works. Font family. So here you can see how it has come. So font family we will be using for giving the fonts type. So I have used here Vardhana something. Similarly, you can try with other styles also. Whatever you see in MS Word, most of the styles will be applicable here. And then you can see that size I have set it to 300% now. That's the reason whatever the heading size it is supposed to be there, that's being increased by 3 times. So by default it will be 100%. When I am saying 300%, it is becoming 3 times. And then since I have given the alignment as center, so you can see it have come to the center. So this is how you can use the different styles. And let's see few other things. So I think background is a bit confusing otherwise. Okay, and what are the other things that you can even apply here is, so even you can just use bold also, something like this. That means I want this particular text to be appeared in bold. So just make sure that how you are starting the tag and how you are closing the tag, and this is how you can just use bold also. Let's see how it is being applied. Any change you just make, just do save there itself, and see. I think it's coming in bold, but we are unable to find it because of the size, I think. Okay, otherwise I'll just show you with italic. Let's see with italic. I think it should be shown properly. Yeah, now you can see the font has been a little bit slanted. So this is what italic, and you can apply multiple formatting also. This is all we call as formatting the text. So you can apply multiple formatting styles, and similarly, what else? And you can also have some strike and text, something like this. I'm just using this bit before between this first word. So just observe how it appears. I'm just trying to show you the different way of formatting. Observe. I'm just writing first within this del tag. So let's see how it works, and reload. So now you can see how it is coming. So this particular first word, since I have enclosed it in with del tag, so you can see it's coming in strike and text, something like this. And similarly, you can also format it using, okay, let's see here a few more formatting tips. So this is for subscripting, and similarly you can also use superscripting. So just observe what I am doing. So what I have done is I have placed the word my in sub tag, and the word document in super tag, I mean sup tag, and now you see how it comes. So now you can see that this particular my is coming as subscript, and this document is coming as superscript, and this is how you can perform the subscripting and superscripting. I'm just showing you the different ways of formatting the text. And similarly, you can have your own paragraphs being defined. Let's have some paragraph. So I'm just using a paragraph tag, and let's write something. So I'm just writing this is our Wipro training session, and similarly, this is our day 21, and similarly, we are just 5 topics away, and today is Monday. Okay, enough. And then let's close this. So try to use indentation in order to make your document easily understandable by everyone. So here you can see I have just used a paragraph tag, and within the paragraph tag I have just used 4 sentences. Let's see how it appears. And then if we just refresh, so here you can see even though you are using the paragraph tag, it's not coming in as you have defined. You can see even though you have given in paragraph tag, everything came in a single straight line. So to avoid this, what you have to do is you have to either use the break tag. You can use this break tag, something like this. Directly you can use like this, so that you can see it coming in new line. So break is nothing but your new line character. Let's see whether it comes. Yeah, now it's coming. So you can see. So now you can see how it is coming. So this is how you can just apply the break tag in order to have your text wherever you wanted to split in the paragraph. But directly using paragraph doesn't make your text to be coming in paragraph. Another way of using without this break tag is you can just apply the, let's see how it comes. So here you can see I'm just using the pre-formatting text. So this should come. Yeah, now you can see how it is coming. So with the spaces whatever I am giving, it's coming with the spaces. So here you can see because after pressing enter I have given some space for the notepad file. Now that space is also being included. So this is how the pre-formatting text will be. So it layouts the text exactly how you have placed in the HTML file, including the spaces and new line characters, everything exactly the same. So whatever the spaces I have given for typing the remaining 3 documents in order to make it properly look in the file, now that spaces is also included. So this is how you will be using the pre tag, which is for pre-formatting. And now few other tags we will see very quickly. So I have said you this particular doc type as even though it's optional, but it's a good way of representing your document, just to mention that what type of file you are creating. And HTML is the parent of all the HTML tags, and head tag will contain all the metadata information. And what are the tags that you can use in this head tag are title, which we have seen here. Similarly, you can even provide the meta information. You can even provide the style information as some external CSS file. You can even provide the script if you are going to contain some JavaScript validation, something like that. You can use that script tag also. Something like this you can use in the head tag, and body tag. You are going to use this tag in order to have the entire thing that you are going to place it in the web page. All that you are going to place, and not only the normal text. You can even have even the references. You can just make it. So let's see something like this. I'm just using the anchor tag. So let's see how to use a href equal to, within the double quotes you can just use this, https colon slash slash dot google.com. I'm just using the basic one, and then here you can just type that particular text what you want to visualize there, and then close this anchor tag. So in order to create this hyperlinks, so this is for creating hyperlink. So what you are saying is anchor tag href and the URL you are providing. So whatever the URL you wanted, you can provide that URL, and then the text. So here the text is the Google. So this will be visualized because this is part of the body tag. This is within the body tag now. So you can see this Google being shown in the page, and if you click on that, it should go to this particular thing. Let's see. So just refresh. So here you can see. So here you can see, and this font color, it's not the font color by default. Since you are using the anchor tag, automatically the color will be changed to like this, indicating that it's not the normal text, and the hand symbol when you are moving your mouse cursor over there indicates that it's a hyperlink. And if I click this, so there you can see it opened the Google page. So as soon as I have clicked, it opened the Google page. So this is how you can just see. So this is what the anchor tag is useful. Similarly, you can even use the, what else? You can even use the image tag. So this image tag is useful in order to load a image from your machine. So you can provide some URL. First of all, I need to have image in the same folder or somewhere where I am going to provide the full path. So what we'll do is okay, let's see if I just copy this and paste it here. So just make sure that you have the file in the same path. I mean where you are saving this file, and let's see whether it will be loaded or not. So I'm just giving, and then even you can also specify the size of this particular image in terms of width and height. So I'm just providing some width equal to 600, height equal to some 600. So these are the pixels values I'm just providing here. So let's see whether it will come or not. So image src equal to, you are providing the location. So it's coming. So this is how you can even specify the width and height also. So very simple tag, image src equal to, you are going to provide the file name, and make sure that the extension is also given, whether it is jpg or png, whatever it is. It may not be shown to you in the file name, but still you have to provide the extension of that particular image also. And then you can even specify the width and height. If you don't specify the width and height, the default width and height values will be taken. I hope you are understanding. And what else? Similarly, you can also provide comments. So you know why we will be using the comments basically. So it's just to make your file readable and make it understandable by everyone. And comments will not be displayed in the web page. So I'm just giving some. This is my first HTML page, and then so this is how you will be declaring comments. So just observe. So this is my first HTML page. So I have written within the angular brackets exclamation mark, two hyphens, and then whatever the comment description you have, you can just have it, and then two hyphens, and then the closing angular bracket. So just save it, and nothing you can see, only to confirm I'm just giving. So refresh. So you can see that comment is not shown in this particular web page. So this is how you will be representing comments. And similarly, you can even create some lists, something like this. I'll first use a unordered list, and then I'll use the ordered list. So UL stands for unordered list, and here you can just use this list item, and then you can give the whatever the items you want there. So I'm just giving CMR set, and then LI, and then again LI, and then CMR IT. I'm just giving a college names itself. Okay, let me just copy these two and directly do. Uh, CMR TC and CMR EC. So, and then close this unordered list as well. So let's see how it comes, how it appears, and then refresh. So here you can see, and similarly you can even provide the hyperlinks here. I think my font color, I mean background color is hiding the things. Let me just remove this body background color so that you don't get any confusion. Let me refresh. So here you can see, I hope it's visible. So there you can see uh, the Google, which is the anchor tag, and this is the unordered list. So you can see the bullets, just like in MS Word how you will be getting bullets now. Similarly you can see the bullets, and if you want sublist, I mean under CMR set, if you want to show the branches, then again you can have this particular thing in again you can have further list tags within this. All that you can just try. And then similarly, instead of UL, I'm just changing it to OL, only to make you understand. So OL stands for ordered list. Just save it. Let's refresh. So now you can see it's coming in numbers. Now you can see it's coming in numbers. So unordered list will not give any numbering, whereas ordered list you can have this numbering being defined. And similar to that, you can even have your own definition lists also being created. So how you will be creating your own definition list is with the tag DL. So DL stands for definition list, and under this definition list, again you can have. Okay, let's make it little more easy. I mean, better. So what I'll do is I'll just create a DT, and in this DT, I'm just making autonomous, and then I'm just closing this DT. Under that, let's have this DD. Let's see how it appears. DD, DD. So DT stands for definition term. DL stands for definition list, whereas DT stands for definition term, and DD stands for describing definition term. So DD stands for describing definition term, and now let's add one more definition term here. And here let me just use non-autonomous, and again these are definition descriptions. Let's see how you can visualize this, and just save it and then refresh. So now you can see how it is appearing. So you can see autonomous, and then classification CMR set, CMR IT, non-autonomous CMR TC and CMR EC, something like this you can just define. So I hope you are following, and similarly you can even create tables. Let's quickly create a table, and then we'll wind up the session. Let's see how to create tables. So for that you will be using the tag table, and under this table you will be using table row tag, that is for defining the table row, and then there you can give the table header information by using th tag, and here what we'll do is let's create a roll number and name field, and then close this table header, this particular heading th, and then similarly another field of the heading is name. So this you can have it in the table, the first row, which is nothing but the header row, and then let's close this row. Now what we have to define, obviously you know that next we have to define the data for this particular thing. So again in the next row, again table row, and then now instead of th we will be using td, that is for defining the table cell data. So I know that my first field has to be roll number, so I'm just giving 1, and then close this, and then my next table data has to be my name, so I'm just giving Krishna, and then close this again td, and then since the row is filled, now I'll just close this row, and similarly what we'll do is I'll just copy this so that to have a few more records. So very quickly I'll just modify here, let me make it 2, here let me make it lava, here let me make this roll number as 3, and let me make this name as Kumar, so that my name completely it appears, and let's check this. Oh, and then you have to close the table tag also. Let's refresh and see. So here you can see, here you can see how it is coming. So role and name, we haven't made it as bold, but still it's coming in bold because we have used the tag th rather than using td. That's the reason you can see that particular thing. And you are not able to see the border. The border is not coming, but things are coming in table. So for that we just required to apply the border. So let's do that. So what we do is, here table we have specified now. So here itself, let's specify table. So you are going to specify it in a structure, something like this. Border, so 1 pixel, some solid black, something like this. You will be specifying here, and then you just close this particular definition of structure. Let's see whether it comes or not. So still it's not coming. Let me see. Just give me a second. So it's coming as body itself. I haven't tried this. Okay, still not appearing. Okay, what I'll do is, I'll the best resource for this is W3 schools. That's what even I have checked very quickly. Let's see tables. So even I recommend you to go with this W3 schools for more knowledge on this particular tables. So here you can see. Okay, it has to be defined within the style. The structure has to be defined within the style. So if we just define this particular thing in the style itself, So this is for header and data also. And then we don't require this here now. So refresh. So here you can see now the difference. So this is how you can just define. So whatever the styles you would like to define with regard to table, that you have to define in the style of the head itself, and then you can just apply them. So here you can see how the things are coming. So we have defined the border as the 1 pixel, and border spacing we have defined it as 5 pixels, and that's what the gap you can see between the cells and rows also. Because I hope you have observed what is that I have pasted in that style information. So we have just pasted table comma th comma td, and within that we have done border colon 1 pixel solid black and border spacing 5 pixels. That's the reason what you can see is for the table, for the header, for the data, for all three you can see that border is coming as 1 pixel, I mean the line 1 pixel, and for the headers and for the datas you can see the spacing of 5 pixels. That's what you can see. So you can just alter those values, and you can observe what happens here. So if I just make this 5 pixels, you can just observe the difference. So you can just click on reload. So now you can see how it's coming. So the boldness, I mean the thickness, you can just see here. So you can just try all this, and similarly you can even provide this spacing also. So border spacing also you can just give some, let's give 10 pixels. I think it will look very awkward, but let's see. So you can just try and explore all this. So you can see that gap, how it is coming. So this is how you can just try. And whatever the styles you would like to give for table or table header or table data, everything you can define under the style within the head tag, and then automatically whatever the table you are going to define, that style whatever you have placed above in the head tag, you can see it here. So I have shown you how to use the title tag, and then the style. Just now we have seen a basic style of using, and headings, and how to apply paragraphs, and how to create anchor tags with the URL specified, and so that we can click on that, automatically we will navigate to there. And similarly you can even load the images, which you have seen how the image gets loaded. And I have also shown you how to create ordered, unordered definition lists, and table creation just now we have seen. And these are the basic things that you will be requiring for developing any web page. This is just a kickstart, and this is not the end of the learning. And as I mentioned, I have just discussed all the basic things, and which you can expand your knowledge by going to this W3 schools. It's the best resource for learning HTML, and you can see what are the things you can just go through here. And you can just rather than copying and pasting things also, you can just go through that example and understand it, and click on the try it yourself, and there itself you can see how it will be visually showing all those things. Also you can just examine. And introduction we have seen, the tables I have shown you. Forms, so forms is basically used for creating action and then navigating from one place to other place. So you can just navigate from one to other. So all that you can just as I said again, it will be boring for you because you can find all that with examples in the document itself. So if I just type the same thing, you will feel a little bit bored. That's the reason I'm asking you to explore. And most of you might be already experienced with use of HTML. That's the reason I'm giving you as assignment. Since all of you are having your own login credentials, you can just log into this and go through the explanation document, because everything is clearly given with example code. So you can just try that. Here you can see the column spacing, everything. Rather than what I have shown, better examples are given here. So this is what I said, form. So login, registration, so all that you will be seeing now. So get and post methods, you can explore that. So so this is what method. So get or post, the basic difference is get, if you are using means in the URL it appears like whatever the username and password you are going to use. For that, if you use get, so when the form action is about to process, then the username and password provided by you will also be shown in the URL. If you use post, it will not be shown in the URL. That's the that's one of the basic difference between the get and post. So you can just try this as it is, and you can explore it. Anyway, quiz I think I need not discuss because answers were given there itself. For all these answers are given there itself. And style, just now I have shown you for table. Similarly, you can provide your own different styles for different things. And div tag we basically use for dividing the content. For division of the content, you will be using. Here you can see it is used for dividing the HTML document into sections. As I said, quiz, whatever the quiz questions are there, answer is given there itself. And HTML5 is the one which is being used for standardization purpose, because several organizations have come into a group under W3C, that is Worldwide Consortium, and then they have provided all the standard set of rules that are to be followed while creating web pages. For internationalization and standardization purpose, these all have come into a common group under W3C, which standard set of rules and things are defined. That's what basically HTML5 is all about. And this is what you can see, the new version of HTML5. It is the combination of HTML, CSS3 and JavaScript APIs. So CSS stands for cascading style sheets. In tomorrow's session we will see little about CSS, and more I'll focus on JavaScript validation, because that's very very important. So we use JavaScript for client side validation, but now even JavaScript is used for the backend, I mean the server side validations also. Like Node.js is the best example, what have grown very much importance. So Node.js, in that JS stands for JavaScript only. So since many days we are using JavaScript only for client side validation, but now even we are using it for server side validations as well. So HTML5, as you can see over here, it's the combination of HTML, cascading style sheets, and JavaScript. And here you can see in 1997, a new and improved HTML specification was published as W3C recommendation. And HTML5 is the product of two different groups. W3C, which was working on HTML4, and the other group meant for web forms and web applications. Anyway, just remember the fact that it is meant for standardization purpose. Okay, then anyway, just go through this, and anything you don't understand or you want me to further explain, you can just mention in a group or personal, so that in further sessions I will once again discuss. So, and as I mentioned, you can just try all these examples provided in this document. And apart from this, the best resource for learning HTML and experiencing is W3 schools. That's what I recommend you to go ahead. So that's it from my end for this session. Any queries, post it in the comment section, or you can give your roll numbers for attendance. Okay. I hope all of you have given your attendance, and Let's wind up for today and meet tomorrow for discussing CSS a little and JavaScript more on that. So I'll leave CSS for you as assignment. I'll just give you the overview of CSS in tomorrow's session, and then more I'll focus on JavaScript validation. Thank you and bye.